JB Cycles with an update on April the 16th. So what's up with the bearish phase of my 4-week cycle? The previous week was in the bearish phase, however we didn't see any downside materializing. So this looks kind of bullish. But then again, if we look back to December, we see we had kind of an inverted cycle here, topping right at the low of the cycle. So that can happen, but this doesn't look very bearish. You know, we could go dip down a little bit more the coming week and then surge up with a bullish breakout and the bullish phase of the next cycle. So doesn't look very bearish. So here I have in gray the 40-week offset, and if we break above this offset, that means the 200-day moving average is rising, and that's a signal of an uptrend or a bull market. And so we have broken this offset. That is a bullish signal, and you know, going back 100 years after such a bear market and such a breakout from the offset, you know, that signals normally a new bull market. However, it has to be followed up with a new with a higher high, and you know that the road is open here for an uptrend. It also could be a false breakout. That does not happen very often, but we could roll over and break below the offset again and have this final capitulation. I have been comparing with the 2000-year bear market. These two are not aligned by the top, but by the 7-year cycle. So we see the two bear markets didn't start at the same time in the cycle. Just looking back here, here's my 7-year cycle in red, and as you see, it does give us the possibility of capitulation down into the summer, but it doesn't have to materialize often, or sometimes bear markets end earlier. But I see this as the last possible down leg in this bear market. And it could even stretch, you know, into early next year if we start to really break down here. But I've been comparing with this bear market, and you know, I thought we were around this place in this analog. I thought we would go kind of sideways here and make a shoulder and then have the capitulation. But also I had in the back of my head another possibility. You know, if we draw this, we see that the lows here are not at the same point. So if we are, maybe we could make, call it a bear market rally or a shoulder of this complex type and length. And if that was to repeat, you see, then it kind of explains why we have went up to the previous top here. So maybe that's where we are. You know, that's the final bearish analog. And you see, we didn't break up to a higher high at this point, and neither should we at this point make any higher high. It could be a double top, but so that's the final bearish scenario I have. If we start to break out bullish here, then the bear market is over. Other stuff, you know, my cycles, my composite of these cycles suggest bearishness into late June, but still we do not see this materialize. If we only look at the longer cycles, it really starts to get bearish around the coming week. But the longer we stay up here and do not see any bearish action, you know, time is running out for this bearish phase. Cycles. Let's have a look at the 16-week cycle. Excuse me, the 10-week. So the 10-week. If we go back, you know, like around here I have one cycle offset and two cycles. So if we go back here, we see these tops were all synchronized with the cycle. If we go over here, these tops were all synchronized. But when we get here, we see in black, here we didn't get a top. It stretched, it shifted the cycle. But if we get over here at the current point, we see now we are at around the same time where the two previous cycles rolled over and turned down. And if we look at the 16-week cycle, you know, going back, we have at this time we see we have these tops pretty much synchronized. Around here we have these tops pretty much synchronized, and you know, at the current point we are where these tops, the previous tops, occurred. Actually, we are a bit late, so it's a late top. Is that a bullish sign? Are we seeing a bullish right translated cycle? So time is running out for the downside in this cycle. If we look at here, so I was looking for a kind of a topping formation here, and still it looks that way. If we go back to previous tops, I'm focusing here on the yellow wavelet. As we see, this is about 10 trading days, and we see here we had a flat top. So normally I would look for a 10-day topping formation. And if we go further back here, we see we also had about 10 days topping formation. But you have to be careful. If you go back here, we see we got this surge at the end. So this was not a sideways topping formation, it was a blow-off top in the end. So we have to be careful here. We are not quite complete with these 10 trading days. We could have a last surge here, or if we were to go more sideways here, we should have a really good topping setup in 1-2 trading days. Also, if you look at this magenta, that's now purple, this purple wavelet, we see we are here now. If we go back, putting this, we see that's about where we topped last time. If we go back here, we see, oh, careful, this looked like a topping formation, and then we got this surge at the end. So we have to be careful. If you go back here, yeah, that was around the top. This one was of another type. We see looked like a top here, and it rolled over, but then we got this second wave up, making this an extended long rally. So it looks like topping formation here. Could still be a few days left. We see momentum here is starting to roll over, but you know, if we go back, we see it doesn't have to be a top right away. We can still, you know, grind on a little bit. If we go back here, we see we can, even if momentum has topped, we can still have this last blow off. So yeah, we're close, but we could still have some kind of a blow off. Hourly data, we have this 10 trading day oscillation. Looks like we are approaching the top of this 10-day trading cycle. So it could roll over at any time, but we still could have 1-2 more days with the last pop up here. So see you in the next one.